Hello, everybody. Welcome, Rapyardigans, Rapyardigets. We have a representative and the founder of the Stars Never Die Foundation in Portland, Oregon. Please welcome. Is it Jetaime James?
Yes, Jetaime James, French for I love you.
I learned that in
Um,
junior high. Yeah,
yes,
that's awesome.
yes.
I love
I'm
that.
so grateful to be here.
Thank you for coming on and talking about this. This is an important issue. I don't know why I look so faded away. You were there. You said with your mother, who's has her own foundation that she wants to talk about too.
Yes, this is my mother, Lynn James. She's going to come and introduce herself so you guys can know what her foundation is and how we can help the community nationwide.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, come on.
Okay.
What?
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Um, First, I want to say Shix Klawit, Iknashwanishka, Halak Kawi, Kushiampo Tumki, Lynn James Kiona, Washnash Yakamakanek. I just said good evening. I am called, my native name is Spirit of the Mountain, Brown Hills. In English, my name is Lynn James Kiona, and I'm enrolled in the Yakama Nation. And I want to give honor to the Creator and my ancestors that chose to survive.
Very nice. Thank you for that. And tell us about your foundation that you have there.
Oh, my foundation is in honor of my great great grandmother, Mary Kiona, who brought the first Europeans down the Cowlitz in the 1800s, the Cowlitz River. And in the Guinness Book of World Records in Washington State, they believe she lived to be 115 to 121 years old. And my mother was taken from her. My mother speaks that language. Her first language was Sahaptin. She didn't speak English until she was taken to the boarding school. So this foundation's in honor of my ancestors. And I've been a social worker for 34 years. So I'm building permanent supportive housing for veterans. We just got done passing out 150 Christmas meals and toys we got donations from Toys for Tots and a grant. And I do that in honor of my mother and the children that survived and didn't survive the boarding schools because they didn't get toys and they starved them.
And more than that too.
Yeah.
Terrible history there.
Yeah. Well, we're just trying to heal the
Mm.
intergenerational trauma and the intergenerational poverty. And I'm a survivor too from the streets. And I've been in recovery, like I said, for 34 years. I got clean when I was 21 years old. And they called me a renegade and an outlaw back then because I didn't have no pimp. My mom actually sold me for dope, shot me up with dope and sold me for dope. And
Wow.
I've been clean since I've been 21 years old. And I came into recovery with an eighth grade education with nothing but the clothes on my back. And because of my many, many blessings, I hold master's degrees. I'm an adjunct professor and I'm a clinical director of an outpatient program. And I'm also the founder and executive director of the Mary Connor Foundation. Like I said, I'm building permanent supportive housing for veterans.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, congratulations, and that's amazing that you've accomplished all that. You're doing a lot of good work, and you should be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. I don't.
Yeah, well, part of the healing it
Really
is
good.
my daughter. My
Mm.
daughter stars never die. And I'm so glad that she's motivated to work underneath me and, and be willing to be teachable. And young girls sometimes, I know I was hard-headed. I
Oh
thought I knew
yeah.
everything. And I'm just grateful that she's willing and she's learning. And like today, you lead by example, talking the
Mhm.
talk and walking the walk. And so I'm honored that she's my daughter and she's trying to heal just like I did. Instead of being angry about it, let's do something about it. Let's not talk about it. Let's be about it. So that's what I appreciate about my daughter. And I'm so proud of her and what she's trying to do to heal the women that have been in domestic violence and pimped out and sex trafficked because I know what that's like. And it is devastating to live with it and above it, being addicted to the lifestyle, that's hard to do. So I'm proud of her and the woman she's becoming, the woman she is. And with that being said, this is her hour. And I just want to give homage to all the people out there that are trying to make a difference in the world and heal themselves and others. So thank you for having me on your show. And
No, absolutely.
peace.
Thank you.
And as we say in my Sahaptin language, Shik Stahat Atawishimush. That means good night and I love you in our Sahaptin Yakama language.
Oh,
Thank you
thank you. I
again.
appreciate you. Thank you for that.
Thank
Awesome.
you, Mom. You're gonna make me cry.
Oh my goodness.
um,
That's okay. I've
I
cried
like.
on here before.
um, yes, my name is Jetaime James, and my native name is Fayum, which means hummingbird in Sahapsin. And iPhone, Mom. And Stars Never Die is a survivor-led, a survivor-born foundation to help women and children who suffered from sex trafficking and any type of sexual abuse.
Hmm.
Um, I've been a victim of that, and it took me a long time to get to the point of knowing my worth
Hmm.
and knowing what I'm capable of. Um, to do something else outside of that lifestyle,
Right.
like she spoke on, it's one of those type of things. Once you get involved in it, it's really hard to get out of. And this nonprofit is an outlet. Like, this is your way out. Like, you done, you tired or sick of being tired, you don't want to do it no more, you want help, you want support. This is what this foundation is for, is to give that support and that advocacy of people like my mom, who's a predecessor, to help.
Uh-oh, we lost you. Oh,
Oh,
you're back.
sorry.
No, you're fine.
What just happened?
It just faded out for a
Oh
second.
no.
Oh, you're good. You're good. It's fine now. Can you hear me? Oh, she can't hear me. Okay, she'll be back. No worries. I'm gonna put up. Here we go. This is their Instagram for Stars Never Die. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, my the service got disconnected.
It happens.
Oh,
That's the beauty of being live. You're good.
oh, and this is my daughter too.
Okay.
This
Oh, wow.
is my daughter. Introduce yourself real quick.
Hello, I'm Jatori. I'm 9 years old and I'm assistant director for my mom.
Wow.
Yes,
Congrats.
and
That's a big
can you tell
accomplishment.
them type of service work you already helped doing?
We helped give food to the homeless and we helped do a coat drive giving out 50 coats.
That's beautiful. Y'all, this is a beautiful thing. I'm so happy y'all are here. This is great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mwah. So it's a family-based, family-run organization to
Yeah,
help women and children. So this is how we teach the youth to have safer alternatives,
right.
and so that they can utilize the skills that they learn from the foundation and the partners, that they could be self-sufficient, declining all outside contributions, and that they don't have to do what they don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
For money.
Yeah,
So that's what this is all about, is giving these girls and these young boys who have been through traumatic situations a way to learn different ways to be successful.
right. And a lot of people are in situations I know where it feels like there's no other alternative, and that's
Yeah, I mean, I got in uh I got in like when I was like 15 years old.
Mhm.
And it's been like a 10-year struggle, just trying to figure out like who I am, where do I belong, where do I go, who do I fit in with.
Yeah,
Everyone's gonna use my past against me, and you know what I mean, like that mentality of
yeah,
feeling stuck, and then you stay stuck because of the guilt and the shame of the lifestyle that you live. You don't feel comfortable trying to enter in certain buildings, or feel comfortable or worthy enough to even get involved with certain people because of your self-worth and the guilt of doing things you really didn't want to do for money. And
right.
like, that's the thing with that, when it gets out of the trafficking and the assaults and all that,
Hmm.
you know, that's why drug use goes hand in hand with the the prostitutions, because that's their coping mechanism of living that lifestyle. And that's how we're trying to treat this organization, as survivors helping survivors, like how they do with Narcotics Anonymous.
Right. Absolutely. I saw a comedian, I think the other day. He was talking about, if you were homeless, you wouldn't, try crack like once. Like you don't have a home, you're running around every day, like trying to stay on the move so nobody like assaults you or whatever. It's like you wouldn't just try it. And it was meant to be funny,
Hmm.
but it was like at the same time, it's like you have a point because
It's real.
yeah, and you don't want to necessarily just have to feel it sober every day, all day, every day. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
drugs are
Yeah.
also used to manipulate people a lot of times too.
Right. And my mom being a recovering addict and having so much clean time, and then being a kid that was kind of raised in those type of rooms, that even when I battle with my own addiction, that I have the resources and I know where to go to get the help when it gets too much. You know what I mean? Like I don't, my addiction isn't hard drugs. Like alcohol could be a problem. You know what I mean? Because of
Definitely.
the trauma and that type of stuff. That drinking for me really was a huge thing that I did, to just keep going and to
Yeah,
not feel and to and just to survive the day.
yeah.
Just trying to survive. Like you're just trying to survive. You got this guy beating your ass, taking all your money, and then you're going out here sleeping with people you really don't want to sleep with, but he got your ID, and if you don't come back with the money, then you're gonna be stuck outside. And it's a really messed up cycle
Yeah,
of abuse to me.
yeah, definitely.
um
Like,
when
how long would you say? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
How long would you say it takes someone to recover? Is there like, does it just depend on the person? I mean,
Um,
how
I
long?
would really treat a lot of people case by case basis,
Yeah.
for the simple fact is some people have more severe trauma than
Mm,
others. Other certain girls that I've interviewed, some of them got into the lifestyle on their own.
mhm,
They, from social media, from friends, people, they made it a choice, and then they got involved with bad people as they went.
mhm,
For um girls who were trafficked, really forced into this, like it wasn't their choice, they didn't know what they got themselves into or anything like that. Those are different cases where, and then there's this different type of traumas that girls experience. Like some girls get raped, some girls get robbed, some girls, like everyone has different trauma. And I don't think it's idealistic to just treat everyone the same, because some people are on their way out right now, where this is just going to be that extra push, like, yep, thank you, I needed your help, now I'm on the next level and I don't have to look back. And then there's girls that's coming straight off the blade, off the street, like,
yeah.
he just took everything. He beat my ass. I don't have no phone. I don't have no ID. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to call. I have no family. You know what I mean? A lot of these girls
Mm,
lost their kids. It's really messed up. And I just feel like, for me, I'm so passionate about this. It just means so much to me because I love kids. And it starts with the youth.
mhm,
Because with the girls who's already in the lifestyle, and some of them made the choice, some of them didn't, we can help them rehabilitate them. But to snip the issue in the bud is to start with these young 12 and up,
yeah.
that okay, this is when you're starting to develop and you're starting to learn your body, and
Mm,
men are going to come, these predatory men.
mhm,
That's my thing, of having them to have the safety skills and the understanding how to protect themselves, and to know the red flags of these abusers, of these pimps, of these predators.
right.
So that, oh, okay, so when he's saying stuff like this is what he means.
Mhm, mhm.
And because they don't know, because it's a whole different language, a whole different world. You
Yeah,
don't know no better. You don't know no better. And that's what a lot of these men, they prey on, is
yeah,
girls who are too young and too naive to know anything about that industry. And that's their way of getting in, hooking their claws in on them. And then most of these women end up go into jails, institutions, or death.
yeah, yeah.
And
Facts.
I'm over it. Like after COVID, it was a big, huge influx of sex workers again. And now that's why we have Figueroa and all these different places that are infiltrated with minors and all type of workers. And, they're kidnapping kids from foster care and bringing them out. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
those are the issues I'm talking about. It's like, we got to help these youth who are put in these programs in certain situations where they don't have the right help, don't have the right guidance, don't have people supporting them and helping them, these young girls and boys,
Hmm.
because it does not just girls who are being assaulted, it's
Right.
these boys too.
Hmm.
So this is how we nip that cycle of abuse in the bud. Is okay, you may be in foster care, but you know you have time to leave the foster care and do what you want to do. You could come to this program and you can learn how to do this, you can learn how to do that, so that they have safer alternatives and learn how to, you know, accumulate money. And so then they'll be motivated to keep going because now it's profitable. And then I don't look for outside sources and outside people to help me who really are just using me for their own self gain.
Yeah. It's you're talking about the foster care system, which is kind of like a whole other demon on its own. Would it be possible to like work with the different like counties or cities that you're with to maybe make that part of the program?
I
Like,
would love to do that because one girl that I interviewed was a victim of that foster care like cycle of abuse.
yeah,
That one of her parents that fostered her was abusing her sexually, and
that happens.
they didn't believe her, they weren't on her side. And then when 10 years later, when another victim, he got caught with that victim, then it's a catalyst of all these different victims that that person had under his care that he was assaulting. And then now she's in a whole situation where the cat's out the bag. But that's the truth, that some of these people are really honest, genuine people wanting to help these kids. And then there's predatory people who know how to utilize the system to get underage kids under their care so that they can relieve their sick sexual fantasies on innocent children. And I'm totally against that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, yeah, there are definitely people out there that have good intentions that are trying to help kids that have been, that their birth parents can't take care of them for whatever reason or whatever the case may be. But,
Yeah.
there's definitely a lot of people get it just like, predators get into childcare or, the school system or whatever because that puts them where they can be around kids, unfortunately.
Right.
And a lot of
Right.
times it's people their own family members too.
Yep. It starts at home too. And that's why the cycle of abuse ends at my nonprofit, because we are open to any story and we don't judge people. That's why it's not just sex trafficking and sexual assault too, because a lot of people who have been assaulted end up going into the lifestyle because of hypersexuality or not knowing, um, their triggers and their, because they were molested or raped at a
Not
young
having
age.
a
And
sense of
so,
self-worth too. I was surprised
yes, and so they don't know.
they can, like, detach and stuff or, forget
Desensitized.
decent yeah, just have, like, out of body, whatever. Unfortunately, that's very common. Shout out
Yeah.
to Excel Services and, was it, yeah, ES57 family, okay, yeah, who
Yes, shout out to
kind of
ES57 promo, who is one of the big sponsors behind promoting this nonprofit and kind of getting it off the ground and getting visibility towards it. I told him, an in-depth version of my story and everything that I've been through. And this is another way that we can bring honest, genuine men here who also believe in this to back women like us who want to create change, and having the right men backing this who aren't predatory, who aren't out here looking to victimize women, that could be supportive in these type of things where he's going against the grain of pimp or die and you don't protect the hoes over bro, like all that rhetoric and that indoctrination of the lifestyle. I believe it's indoctrination from slavery. And that we are nipping the bud, and now girls can know the difference of predatory men in a lifestyle preying on girls because of the lack of knowledge and not knowing no better.
yeah,
And having men like that who support this, who are backing it, saying like, no, brother, we all ain't like that. We
mm,
all don't like what y'all are doing to these women,
right,
and
right,
these young girls and these kids. It's just some people got a heart and a soul.
yeah,
And so I
that's
really,
good,
really appreciate him um, for just believing me. And that's the catalyst of this whole thing, is just someone just hearing my story and believing me and hearing me and seeing me and wanting to help me. Like, that's our biggest thing, is survivors do not get the help. People don't believe us. Some of these stories be so atrocious that they just can't believe that another human being could do that. But it's proven in history that there are some sick motherfuckers that do stuff like
Yeah,
this.
I mean, look at our president anyway.
And then Epstein, like
I
it's
don't
in
care
the
if I live
public eye.
here. I don't get whatever. Bye. No, but it's a sick, sad world, and it's really good that there are people like you that are willing to speak out about it and do something about it. You're located in Portland, Oregon, right?
Yes, I'm in Portland, Oregon, born and raised.
Okay, I got
Yes,
college friends that live out there. Um,
yes.
and
It's not how people make it seem either. It is a
not like
little like,
Portlandia.
yeah, Portlandia is. I mean, Portland is weird. That's our city, but it's a lot of good, beautiful people here. A lot of natural resources, and the only issue is just addiction and
Mm,
mental health, and it's not being dealt with properly. And yeah, mental health and addiction is a huge thing, and so that's why me and my mom are found. This is what we're here to do. Like, you don't enable the behavior, you nip it in the bud. You cut, it's hardcore cutoffs with this. You
yeah,
know what I mean? And that's kind of how this has to go with the women too. Is that, oh, if you're here, you really want to change and do better, and if you don't, it could be a revolving door.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You might come out, you come back in, but just like in the rooms of narcotics, you might dot that door again, meet the right trick, and now you gone.
Mm,
And there ain't no second chances.
mm,
And that's just the reality. Like, you're going out there, you're meeting random people you don't know. And
yeah,
I've been through so much, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Um, just putting myself out there to strangers. We don't know who these men are, you know what I mean? And the addiction to that money is what keeps a lot of girls stuck in it, is because of that fast money. You know what I mean? It's just financially equitable. Like, oh, okay, I could go make $500 real quick instead of working all week to get 300, or like whatever, the numbers is,
Even though
you
you
know what I
have to
mean?
give most of it to somebody else right away, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so that's what trying to help those girls, understand that sometimes it may be a slow race, but
Mm,
remember the turtle won.
right.
So
It's a lot to it, that's the whole psychological thing behind, pimping basically is you get in a girl's head and make her feel like she has no self-worth, like make her feel like she's not, she's nothing without you, et cetera, et cetera. So, and not every person that's a sex worker or whatever has a pimp necessarily, but
mhm,
that's that part of it. And you're
right.
right, we do in, like, our culture, society, whatever, tend to, like, have that, like, cartoonish idea of, like, what a pimp is, and
Mhm.
it makes it, like, silly and, haha, whatever. Oh, he dresses cool,
Yes.
but it's not really that cool to you know?
It's it's not, because the real basis behind pimping and prostitution in America is the slave trade that they had for the breeding farms.
Mm,
And so when they used to kidnap some of the indigenous and African people, they would separate them and breed them so that they could have workers for their farms. And then what they would do is take the girls who are really beautiful and light skinned, like my mom and myself, and put them in houses where they would sell them for sex to the highest bidder. And it started in slavery in America. It didn't start from a black man finding a black girl and saying, you know what, you gonna get some. It wasn't like that. It would just start like that. This
right.
is a pre-generational slave syndrome that was passed down by oppressors and colonizers to break us, dehumanize us, and they did to all our ancestors, and especially my grandmother, because she was assimilated, and that's a huge thing where they took her from and the boarding schools, and
Yeah.
they stripped her from her language, beat her, raped her, and assimilated her as an Italian woman when she's from the Yakama Nation. And
Wow.
so it's indoctrination, and that's what they do too. These guys come and get you, they
Mhm.
change your name, they change your style, they take you from all your family, and they teach you this is how it's supposed to go. And if you don't do it this way, no one's gonna ever want you. No one's ever gonna mess with you again because you're a hoe and you're this and you're that. And so that's the whole cycle of abuse, is that it's something that they were taught that they don't even know who taught them it.
Mhm. Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep. and
It's the same. It's
yeah,
the same thing.
like I'm glad you're talking about the boarding schools and stuff like that, because I don't think that gets enough attention. They keep uncovering like mass graves and stuff like that, especially in Canada.
Yeah.
They're finding a lot in Canada and in the
Yeah.
States.
My mom. But didn't you say there was one that we just found?
Here.
Okay. What about, because my grandmother.
I'll help. So my mother.
Mhm.
So this was a painful realization for me.
Mm.
When I buried my mother, there's a lady named Patsy Whitefoot who goes back and forth to Washington D.C. for some of our tribal talking to the whites and the government about stuff. And she grew up with my mother at the base of the Adams Mountain in Washington State. And she came to my mother's funeral, and she was the last person to speak, and our elders are held in high esteem. And Patsy Whitefoot grew up with my mother, and she got up there after, everything was over and said, "Loopy, Loopy." And we was like, why is she saying this? And what she said was, this woman here today that we're honoring, her real name is not Ruby. I've been calling my mother Ruby all my life. She says, we have no R's in our Sahaptin language. When Mary Kaina called us back to the house, her name is Lupe. And
Wow.
that's when my knees buckled. And instead of getting mad, which I was heartbroken. It felt like someone ripped my heart out, because I've been taking care of my mom off and on since I was a teenager because of her mental health and her addiction.
Mhm.
And it just hurts so much. Instead of, after sitting here and mourning for a year, I said, I need to learn the language. I need to go get back what was stolen from my mother. So that's part of the healing.
Mhm.
I could get angry. I could sit here and build an invisible prison and crash out and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
what I did is got a Sahaptin dictionary and found out there are no R's in our Sahaptin language. And that's why I introduced myself in full Sahaptin in honor of my mother who lost her language and my ancestors. That, I think there's 50 people after COVID that speak Sahaptin right now. So linguistic justice is huge for me in the Mary Conner Foundation. So when I build the building, I found a Native American architect, and part of the building is everything written in English. I want it written in Sahaptin too. When you walk in it, the name of the building is going to be Kiona and Yet Yet. The Kiona name means brown hills, and in Yet Yet means homes. So it's going to be called Kiona and Yet Yet Brown Hills Homes, in honor of my people and my ancestors. So I sit and I have a land back program in my foundation as part of my foundation. And I'm trying to do land acquisitions to build this building. And when I sit with these people, they say, well, we could give you these acres for if you got $2 million. I said, excuse me, why would I pay $2 million for something you stole from my
Yeah,
ancestors?
something is mine. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it made my whole project people feel really uncomfortable. But I walk in there with my ancestors. I'm a direct descendant of those 7 families that they wrote about when the Europeans came to the Pacific Northwest. And I feel like, as an elder, being 56 years old now, that it's my job and it's my right. It's my blood right. It's in my DNA. Let's not talk about it. Let's be about it. Give me that land back. Give back that Indian land, because that's what it is. Because for a long time, I was asleep. They call it woke now.
Yeah.
I would go and pray. And when these people would have land acquisitions and groundbreaking, I would literally dress in full regalia and pray. And then finally, one day I stood up and said, wait a minute, I'm praying for y'all when I need to be praying for you to give it back to
Right.
me and my people. What would, I had to, whoa, wait a minute. I'm sitting here with full buckskin dress, eagle fan, and I'm praying for the wrong reason, because I had to get honest and be true to myself. And that meant self-examination. That means not fixing the outside, but going on the inside and healing and looking at stuff, not what I think it should be, but what it is.
Mhm.
That's part of the healing, and now a lot of people don't know a lot of this is an inside job. And that means I had to take everything I thought, everything I felt, everything I believed, and my behaviors. And I had to hold myself accountable. And with that meant I got to renovate, pivot everything I was ever taught and change it and figure out how I'm going to heal and live with it and above it and not let my past dictate my future. So my job is what I tell people this, they know this if they're motivated and they goal driven like me. One, hocus pocus, stay focused and don't let nothing knock you off your square. And don't allow no person, place, or thing outside of you change who you are, because everybody ain't a reliable source to tell you who you are and what you are. But when you know who you are and what you are, that's a powerful thing. And I love when people say, well, what's your mantra? I said, one, I'm responsible for my happiness. Two, I'm not apologizing for my DNA. And three, I don't need nobody's permission to walk in my greatness. So that's the stuff I stand on today. And I'm so grateful.
I thought it was an air horn. Close enough.
And so when it comes to healing the mental health and addiction, it's a process, not an event. And my daughter is like 100% right. Me being on this journey of self discovery and speaking all over the world about mental health and addiction, people think if they treat their addiction, yeah, you get the monkey off your back, but the circus is still in town. And if you don't treat the mental health with the addiction, you're only treating half of you. And I speak all over the world about that as a clinician, as a woman in recovery, and a woman that has lost everything from nothing. I ain't forgot where I came from. I ain't all that in a bag of chips now. If we don't get humble, we'll be humiliated. So I don't forget that,
Yeah.
and I'm so grateful that I say that, get to be a grandmother, get to be the woman I am today, but I know that I'm standing on the backs of my ancestors. It ain't all about me. It's about me being a service to my people. So all the accolades and alphabets behind my name is to help my people get jobs, help my people get scholarships, help my people get housing, all that, because each one teach one. That's how we're going to heal, and that's why I stay close to my daughter. And I always told her the truth about where I came from. I kept it 100 with her. Yeah, they used to call me the original Nicki Minaj and Carly B to the 10th power. I was way ahead of my time. So when little Kim came out, girl, that was my girl.
Okay.
I was like, oh, somebody's telling my story. And I'm so grateful that Cardi B and some of the women today, are keeping it 100 about what that life is. It's not easy, and it's
Right.
painful. And if you ain't been in the mud like that and lost your children, because I lost two of my children,
Oh,
and
sorry.
no, honey, my parental rights and everything got taken, and the colonizer said I would never see them kids again. I'm here to tell you, ain't no man or mountain big enough to stop what Creator got for me. All five of my kids is in my life today,
Good.
because you can't. No, it. I guess what I need to say to some of the women, I was afraid of the unknown and I was afraid of change.
Mm.
Right, I was so afraid, but the reality of it is, I had to turn that fear into faith. I had to stop being afraid of stepping out and being without, with or without money, with or without a relationship, with or without the acceptance of others. Like, I had to be okay with that coming up out of the game, because I was addicted to the lifestyle just as much as I was addicted to the drugs. So I had to get real with that criminality. See, people don't call it what it is. Criminality. When you hit licks, okay, it is what it is, and there's consequences, and I could say today that it takes hard work and dedication. It means not giving up 5 minutes before the miracle, no matter what it seems like or what it feels like, but most of all, not giving up on you, because forgiveness starts with you. You got to forgive yourself, and then and with that being said, you're able to heal and forgive others, because that's what I had to do. I had to forgive my mother for shooting me up with dope and selling me. We were in recovery for 15 years together, me and my mother.
Wow.
And I thank Creator for that, because that's how I learned our native ways. And that's how my daughter learned how to be a jingle and fancy shawl dancer. And we learned how to be in ceremony, because she had to go and get back what was given to her as well. And it was painful for her. You know, we were ashamed to be Indians for years. And she would say that when she got older. She goes, well, hell, now everybody wants to be Indian.
It's so
With
tricky.
no cut on. Oh yeah, she would go on the warpath about that because she couldn't understand why now people could wake up. Yeah, they could wake up tomorrow and say they're self-identified Indian, and then you have blood quantum. So the cold part about it is part of this foundation is healing some of that too. Them kids that I lost in my addiction that I got back,
Mm,
the Cowlitz tribe enrolled them to that white lady adopted when I was out there, but won't enroll the three that I was clean that I've been clean with for 34 years.
okay.
So we're dealing with some horizontal racism with the Indians because they'll accept the white Indian before they accept the Afro-Indigenous Indian. So down
Interesting.
in the Seminole tribe, I'm solid, but here in the Pacific Northwest, in a quantum on the top of this reservation, I'm the only one that looks like me out of 400 Indians that come into that gym. Mind you, my family is running the tribe.
Oh,
My grandfather, Chief Kamayakan, signed the treaty, and Chief Skaloom and all my ancestors.
Hmm.
And yeah, oh, now I'm an elder. I get to speak up, say what I need to say, and say, you know what? I'm not a Chumuckly. That means a black person in Sahapton, but I'm a Kiona and who I am and what I am. And I get to stand up there with my head up proud and not be ashamed of being Afro Indigenous. Because in the books about Mary Kiona, by my family being royalty back then, they took horses and slaves as dowry. So I represent a lot more than what I thought. You know,
Yeah.
they were no better than anybody else, and I am Afro Indigenous walking in a corn with 400 Indians, and my family's running the whole tribe since the 1800s, and stand up and take my place amongst my people. And we all need to do that. So part of my pro bono work is helping Afro Indigenous people all over the world to get enrolled in tribes because they don't know how to do it. So I'm trying to get my children enrolled with my, lineage, but I want to help others as well.
Yeah.
So here's your Tim. Thank you for having me.
No problem. No problem. Thank you. Wow, she said a word. That's
oh,
powerful.
and this is how we break generational curses: is having the family lineage working together simultaneously
Yeah, that's great.
for
Uh,
our ancestors, so that we can show that we haven't gone nowhere, and this is how we create change in our community. And if we, she's a business owner, I'm a business owner, my daughter's a business owner, it stops that pre-generational trauma. It stops those same things happening over and over in the future. And
mhm.
so this is how me and my mother is collaborating what she's doing, because I can't get enrolled.
Yeah.
And how being able to utilize that as an asset to help us prove the point of that this is just who we are.
Yeah.
This is just who we are, and this is just who we
Right.
are. And this is how we be inclusive. We're inclusive of all the people who don't know, if they are don't know, whatever,
Mhm.
and the women and children who need the help. Like, this is what this is for.
Yeah, I had a guest on. He's a rapper in Rhode Island, King Handsome. I can't remember. I think the name of the tribe was something like Narragansett, maybe.
Mhm.
But he was talking about their language. Is like privately kept, and it was fading out, but it's something that you can't just like look up. It can't be Google translated or anything like that. So the
Mhm.
language part of it is very important, I know, but that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is the way of stripping you from your identity. That's what the whole point of assimilation was, and they did it in boarding schools and off boarding schools. The
Yeah.
white, fair-skinned Indians were put in boarding schools, and the dark-skinned Indians were put on plantations.
Mm,
And so, no one knows really the whole truth besides the people who really did it, and that's why covering it up and doing all these things and these distractions and these evil things to us to keep us stuck. That's what this is all about. It all intertwines with each other with
yeah,
our nonprofits, is that it all goes hand in hand. Like, this is what one does not go without the other. And so this is just so amazing to be able to have our voices be heard now that we're in a generation, we're in the time where social media is an outlet for truth.
Yeah.
People can tell their true stories without bias and without scholars, discrediting them, that people
Mm,
can share their story and people believe them. And this is also a picture of Mary Kiona.
okay.
So this is the ancestor she's speaking about. This is she's a famous basket weaver, and that's who we are descendants from. And we also are descendants from Chief Kamayakin too. So um, pre-generational trauma
Hmm.
and breaking cycles of abuse, treating addiction and mental health hand in hand, and giving back to women and children and helping them find safer alternatives. This is the mission. This is the goal. Um, I've created multiple different businesses for this reason. What me and ES57 do, which is part of the Safer Alternative for the women, is the modeling agency that we both co-own, and we
Okay.
work together with the brand to help these women get published as models and get casting opportunities, acting jobs, um, uh, rebrand them as models and entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And so that's one outlet. And then, I'm accumulating all different types of things.
Hmm.
And another way is my network that I'm going to be launching here soon, where I'm going to be creating a streaming network for the women to come on there and do their own reality show.
Oh
And
wow.
so people can get to know them personally instead of what society and the movies have said, like, this isn't no hustles and flow. Some people's situations are.
Hmm.
Um, but this is a way so that these girls can tell their raw, uncut truth from their side, and just helping them find different ways to be great,
Yeah.
to help them. That's all this is about, is helping these women find their purpose and finding their passions and finding what makes them great and makes them feel alive again,
So
and to
it's not
heal.
just the short term, like, oh, you need some help with, like, you need some money for food or you need to go to the it's like this is the long term plan.
Yeah,
So
money management, learning how to talk, being able to be interviewed, getting a resume, getting a portfolio, going back to school,
mental health and stuff
accomplishing
like that.
goals you forgot about, you let go of because, from the trauma and the abuse, people didn't feel like, oh, you want to go to school, you can make more money doing this. Like, no, let people be great.
Yeah, right. And with
Yes.
the streaming service thing, is that gonna be like a YouTube series, or is it gonna be on its own website, or how's that gonna work?
So I'm gonna be trying to develop a website.
Mhm.
It's gonna be like other social streaming apps in a way, and we're gonna be working on developing an app too, so that people can subscribe to and learn more about it. And like, my network is based off of so many things. It's gonna be so many beautiful things. ES57 is a huge a part of it. We started the fashion shows. That one of his cousin, his family member, started doing out in Los Angeles, and they have one coming up in March, um, where it's young indigenous entrepreneurs, men and women, um, coming together and creating their own businesses, their own companies, their own fashion shows, and
Mhm.
working together to create these big events and bring celebrities and other artists who support what they have going on and showcase their streetwear. And
Mhm.
there's streetwear, there's high fashion. It's a beautiful event. And this is how we show these girls that there's more options. There's
Right,
more options out here for you now. And you don't have to stay stuck in something you don't want to do.
right. Is there anything with the fashion shows and stuff online that I could pull up?
There is
I
so
look
we've been having technical difficulties with these Instagram accounts.
okay,
Websites are going to be launching soon.
okay.
So I would say follow Stars Never Die PDX.
Mhm.
Also follow ES57 Promo LLC.
Okay, let me put that in there too.
Um, we had to get a new Instagram. But yeah, this is what this is all about, is partnering up with like-minded individuals who see the mission, see the goal, and want to help give back to people, and utilize our resources to break the cycle.
I love that. You're doing great work. I really appreciate too, like that. This gives it, not only your people, but also people that are in situations like this visibility. They see it and they're like, oh, okay, now I don't feel so alone, kind of thing, or I feel like I can, actually reach out and do something about it. So kudos to
Yeah.
you. Kudos to your whole family, actually. But um, yeah. Is there so even though you're based in Portland, I just wanted to touch on this real quick. It's not really like a nationwide service as it is right now, but it can be.
Mhm.
Or as far as just like phone support, like how does that work?
So right now, I got my Instagram, my GoFundMe, and I'm working on relaunching my website because I'm trying to rebrand it and redo it how I want it to be. Um, as since we're fairly new and we're making sure we get the right people involved that could be these advocates in online support for these people who are actually going to be doing the job accurately, that
Mm.
they doing it the right way. And so we're working on gathering the right people like recovery mentors and advocates and on-call specialists to help in situations nationwide where they can call, Stars Never Die anywhere in America and have someone there 24 hours. So
Yeah.
that's what we're working on
Okay.
developing. Yeah.
Okay. As of right now, though, you're mainly serving the Portland area, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes. Right now is Portland, and we're gonna be trying to branch, nationwide and internationally. So the more people who can donate, the more people who can get involved, the more people who can just, share support, show love. It's not always about money. Just showing up and sharing sometimes is enough. Just showing that you support this message, and so other people who may have the capital and the backing can come and help support these type of organizations that actually matter to the community.
Right. So you can share, whoever's watching, you can share this live or this recording if it's after live. I put the link to the GoFundMe and the link to your Instagram in the description. I'll also put the link to the Mary Keona Foundation and uh, I guess that's the Yakama Nation Instagram, and I'll put that in
Yeah,
there as
so she has, it's Yakima Nation is her
well. Right.
Instagram, and
Mm.
then mine's is Stars Never Die
Okay.
PDX.
Okay. I'll
Yes.
put both of those in the description as well. But yeah, everyone go check out their Instagram, go check out the website. Um, Donate at the GoFundMe if you can, for sure, because this would be a great service for, people all over the nation or like beyond, It's definitely needed because there's a lot of that going on, unfortunately. We need to do something about it
Hmm.
and help
I
people.
appreciate you
Yeah.
for giving me this opportunity,
No,
hearing
thank
me,
you. Thank you for coming and talking.
seeing me, hearing my mother's story and her message too. You got hit with a double whammy. I didn't mean to, but
No,
it
you're
just was
fine.
too
It's fine.
important not
Yeah,
to.
it was great. It was great.
she's she's too good of a speaker and too passionate too to not let her get her turn. Also,
No, really. Yeah.
um, and I'm just so grateful that there's people like you who are willing to just give us the chance to be heard.
No, it's nothing. I'm grateful to you for actually being the ones that are doing it, So anytime. Yeah, everyone please go follow and I'll put the other links in the description. Donate, GoFundMe if you can. Stars never die. So we're hoping and praying for much success and growth for you going forward because you're doing a great thing. So thank you.
Thank you so much for
No
having
problem.
me.
All right, folks. We'll see you next time. We're gonna be back down here. What'd you say? What'd she
Oh,
say?
I was just going to say thank you so much for having me, and I cannot wait to speak with you and work with you further.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sorry. I thought I heard someone else talking.